Check. All right. Let's get started. So just to kind of recap what we did last stream, we are creating a voice app from Figma to Create with Play. Create with Play is a iOS prototype tool, probably one of the best, low-key tools when it comes to iOS prototyping and just building in general. And last stream I began just creating and building out my screens here, and today we are going to build out the components and the states. So that's what we'll be focused on today. We probably won't knock out all of the components and states, but I want to begin that and get ready for interactions. Interactions will be after we finish the components and states, just because Play does allow you to create components. It just makes the process easier when creating these different states here and so on and so forth. So just to kind of go over what components we'll be making, we have this component here, which is a add voice comment. This is going to be 3 different states, at least for now, that I'll be building out. So we'll be building out this navigation down here with the add comment. That will be the default state. And then we'll be creating the second state, which is what will pop up after, or slide up after you press that add voice comment, which will prompt you to record your voice comment. And then we'll go to the third state, which is sending or sharing your voice comment after you have recorded it. So those are 3 states that we'll be knocking out for this component. The second component consists of the hold and press, or tap I should say, when you click on someone's comment. So initially when you click on someone's comment, it won't just play. I don't want a bunch of people just like, everyone's finger thumb size is different, so we want the interaction to be just a little more specific, rather than just like, oh, I accidentally press a comment and now someone's voice is just playing. So the idea is you hold this comment down, which is the default state right here, and then when you do press it, the second state will show this kind of drop down, and when you let go of that or press it again, the comment again, it'll collapse it and hide it and put you back to this default state. And then we'll also add different states where you can hard it and then you pressing play, and those will be added once we finish this component here. So those are the 2 main components we'll be adding right now, and then we'll be doing kind of a drawer effect, a slide up, like a card overlay where you can slide that up and slide down and provide a component there, and just allowing users to interact with that as well. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started and build out the first component, which is add a voice comments. So let's go ahead and build it out. I just created a page here just labeled components just so I can make this, and we will continue. So what is the height of this here? About 89. Yeah, 89. This is pushed up by how much? I see. Let's here. So this is about 89. Yeah, about 89 height. So let's go ahead and create that. Let's jump back here. Oh, I clicked design. We're going to go back to components, and we're going to add a Z stack. It's going to be a line at the bottom here. We're going to give it a height of 89. I'm going to change the background color here. Let's copy this, what we have in Figma. background color, opacity 100. And then we're going to provide another, more so a button here. Where is it at? We're going to do a medium button, but I don't think we could add to that the way I want to. So a Swift UI button. Let's just do another Z stack. Let's see what that button looks like here. I mean, it like works, but like doesn't work, right? So we're gonna remove that. Cart fill, custom alignment, customize. We'll just keep it as is. So the button is 346 width, 45 height. So 346 with a 45 height. And we're going to center this here. And the background, or the color of this button, will be here. Let's copy that. We don't want it to tint. All right, copy that there. I'm gonna add a microphone, and the title is going to be add voice comments. Add voice comments. Enter. We're going to change this here to the speaker. Which one did we end up using here? I want to keep things consistent. That one, okay. Excuse me. All right. We're going to increase this here. All right, and then there's no radius, right? Is there? Nope, no radius on the square here. And then after this, we are going to make this its own state here. So I'm going to copy this and drag it over, and I'm going to label this a component. And we'll create this add voice comment. Great. So now we're going to go to components, and you have this listed down here, and we're going to start messing with the states. So as I said before, there's different states and things that happen once this is clicked, and so we are going to create those different states or different points of this interaction when editing this component. So we'll see here, this is the default state, so this is what it looks like. Obviously you haven't pressed it, and then when the new state, we're going to label this record voice comment, and we're going to pretty much design this. So this is about 226 in height. So we'll go ahead and adjust the height of this, which is 226. And then we're going to remove the button here. And we're going to add text. So it's going to be, where is that at? Text. labeled here, 1, 2. So we're gonna have 2 text labeled here. All right, and then we're gonna have a button and some more text. So we will add a button here. This is going to be, we'll honestly call it a large button, to be honest. And we'll make it a circle. So after the 2 texts, we'll label that there. This is the record voice button, just to make things more clear. This is record voice comments. And then we have max 45 seconds under that. And then the text below is just going to be our duration timer. So we'll label that. And then this container here, we need to align everything down and we need it to be centered. So I'm going to angle the direction down and align it to the center here. And you can see our text is now in the same alignment as what is shown in Figma. So now we will, let me jump back just to get the right text size. I don't want to use different text size here. So this is SF Pro medium 16, 0.416. We'll go back here. This is SF Pro medium 16, 0.4, 16 line height. And we'll center that there. And it's going to be white. Why does it look so small? I'm gonna make that 20 here. There we go. And then this will make 16, which is max 45 seconds. SF Pro, medium, 16, white. Is that the same white? I feel like it's not the same. I think it's FE. We need to confirm. You gotta make everything the same. Yes, it's FE. Let's go back and change that here. FE, F3 I should say. Cool. And then we'll change this as well to F3. Nice. And then we're going to give a spacing here. So what's the margin on this? 10, 15. So I'll come back to this comment here, give a margin of 10, bottom 10, bottom of this margin is 15. And then the padding around this here, let's get this right. Height is 17. Height is 17. Width is 92. Width is 92. Excuse me. All right. So the width is 92. The height is 17. In terms of spacing here, so we'll add that padding. Top 17. Bottom 17. Right is 92. Left is 92. Here we go. And this spacing here between this and the duration is 15. So we'll add the margin here, bottom 15. This might be a tad bit too big. 18 seems fine there. And we are going to center this. Everything's centered. Just feel like the vertical is off a tiny bit. So then let's make this circle now 77. The height is 77 and the width is 77. So let's go ahead and do that. 77, 77. There we go. And then we're going to remove the text, no text. And the icon is going to be the speaker. Right, keep things consistent. We will update all the icons after. I just want to really get this created here. It's 245. I think we could do like 55 even. Let's do 50. And the background, let me just customize it from there. Hold on. Background is going to, can we do it linear? We can't. Okay, so for the sake, we'll just copy this purple here. Boop, 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 boop. Make sure the opacity is turned up. All right, we'll give this a stroke. Border. Make that F3, 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 F3. That stroke, I want to say how bright is that stroke there? Yeah, it's a 1. Sounds good. And we're going to match this text to be, which is 16 SF Pro. Do the same there. It's going to be medium font, SF Pro text. F3, F3, F3. And we should be good. Nice. I feel like the padding up here is off, but we're good. All right, so we have this state created now, and we're gonna create the submit voice state from this, and we need to hide this here. So we're gonna hide this text, hide that text. And we're going to show this text here and show this text here. So the reason why we're doing that, and we're going to hide this button here, is because we were editing the component. So if you make a change within any of the states, it's essentially just adding that element. And because in the default state, if that's not supposed to be there, we're just going to hide that element. So when we do create the interaction, we could easily show those elements and collapse or trigger anything that we need to trigger. All right, so next we're going to create a new state. This state is going to be called submit voice comments. And we're going to be deleting this here. Oh. Let's go back real quick. Let's actually duplicate it. So what we'll do is we'll trash this one, and then we'll duplicate this. and then we'll relabel it as the submit voice comment. And we're going to, because we already have most of it built, save us the time here. And now, hey, Infatuated Smith, what's up, man? Tired of streaming to 0? Let's change that only at, I don't even know the site you shared, but appreciate you showing out here. Let me make sure all is good, y'all. Let me make sure all is good. Yes, all is good. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So in this case, we're gonna making 2 buttons, not 1, and they're gonna be different buttons. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's create those. So we're gonna add 2 buttons here. These are gonna be large buttons as well. And we're gonna label this the playback button. And then we're going to label another one here. That's going to be called share voice comment button. That way we know the difference here. And we're going to hide this one. If it lets me hide it, we'll just delete it. There you go. It says it's hidden. We shall see though. All right. Okay. It's not allowing me to hide that, huh? Oh, that's to record voice. Yeah, playback here. Move that up. Move that up. I need to delete this bad guy here. What are you doing? If it wants to let me. Pretty, please. I'm gonna have to just like recreate it, all of this, without duplicating it, because I think it's because I duplicated it. Or it's a bug, one of the two. It's saying it's hidden though, but I don't think it is. So let's just recreate it for the sake of having any issues. So we'll create this, which is submit voice comment. I'm gonna hide this here. Gonna make this, what is the height? 226. Nice. And we're going to add text here. That still needs to be here. This also needs to be here. This still needs to be here. Align all this down like we said, right? Padding is 20. Was it 93? 92, 92, 17. 92, 92, 17 on the sides, padding wise. Oh, bottom is 17. 92. Cool. And then here, this is going to be white. F3, 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 F3. And we're gonna say, instead of record, oh, you know what? We can't add that because we need to, that's the older state, so we need to keep that hidden here, both of these. And we're going to add 2 other texts. One text that says share your voice comment. And this is going to be medium, SF Pro. Make this 20. Select the color, F3, F3, F3. Bada bing, bada boom. And then it is 2 buttons. So we're gonna add 2 buttons here, 2 big, large buttons. 1, 2. This one is going to be the playback button. This one is going to be share comment button. Right, and then we're going to hide these here because they don't need to be seen in the original state. Right, cool. Now we're going to wrap these buttons in a horizontal stack. That way they sit side by side, to the left and to the right. And we're going to drop that down there. Button share stack. And I'm going to drag this up. I'm going to place each of these buttons within here. Open this up here. Nice. Drop it down. Playback is going to be the left button, so let's move that over, and it's going to be all white. But before we get there, let's go ahead and get the height and width, which is 54, 54, 54. Oh, yep, that's right. 54, 54. And then same with this here, the share comment's going to be 54, 54, and going to center this as well. Oh, align it centered at least here, just like so. And what is this? Exposition is 140, 208. So looking over here at the looking at the playback button, I'm looking at the X and Y axis. It's going to be offset by 140, which doesn't sound right. Doesn't sound right at all. I think the easier way to go about it, let me cancel what I just did there. Where is that Y axis? I want to do the margin that way. 14 to the right, 14. They split up a little bit more. Margin left. $40. Margin right. 40. Probably like a 35. 35. Okay, and then what is the spacing between these? 27. Probably going to be a little higher than that, so we'll probably make it for the sake here. There we go. Seems about right. I can get the width of this container though, if it lets me. 122.54. So the width is 122. We'll do it like 132. The height 54. Do like 57 to keep everything there in the margin, like 27, right? Might be too big. 17. And then we're gonna keep the like these buttons are very small. How big is it? 54, 54. Why does this not seem as big? I think we might be able to go 64. At least 60. Let's go 60 by 60 here. We'll have to change the width or the height of the H stack as well. It's probably 62 to leave space there. Nice. And then we'll add, this is the share comment header. And we're going to add a small text to this component, or the state of the component, which is the duration. 0.21, just for show and tell purposes. What's the size of this? 17. Regular. This should be regular. This should be medium. All right. SF Pro, medium. 17. 0.4. What is this? I want to say 12. That was 12. Wow, that's a lot smaller. 17. We'll do the same thing here. The white F3, F3, F3. And that has a margin of, or this button has a margin of 15. So we'll add that margin of 15 to the bottom here. And then we'll change the title or the background color to be white. Background, or F3 I should say. F3, F3, F3. Fill that up with the play button, no title. Play. The play button is going to be black. We will change that. Icon. What's the color here? We're just all the way black. It's not black. There we go. We'll change the size of that. 38. This is the purple. We'll jump back. Take that purple here. What's that hex code? Change the background color here. 100%. Icon symbol. It's gonna be a send or share message. Send. Here we go. No. Oh, I don't want a 0. I want nothing. And this to be 38. Outline and all that. A border. F3. All right. So that is essentially the state of when you click on this voice comment, this will pop up. When you click on this, you'll start recording. And when you click on this, or after you record, the next state will be sending that voice comment. And there's still a little bit more there to be added state-wise, but we could just start building that interaction flow out, so that way we're able to see what else is missing, what else is needed. So we'll go ahead and jump back here. So that component is made, and then we're going to go to pages, go back here, and we're going to add a new component, which is going to be the hold down and drop down. So let's go ahead and create that here. We have pretty much the whole comment wrapper created. We did the hard part. Now we're going to create a component out of it, and we can delete this now, because once you create the component, it exists regardless. You'd have to actually go and delete this component here, which is the global component. So we can jump back here to our components, and we're going to turn this into a component. So let's go ahead and do that. Comment wrapper. So we're going to go ahead and jump to our components, and we'll see that it now appears. We're going to open it up and create the new state. So, let's go ahead and add this here. In this default state, we don't want to pin it anywhere. We're just creating the drop down, reply, or favorites. So let's go ahead and do that. And let's just review what we need to create this. So it's going to be one stack with the H stack. Within those H stack is a green column, a white column, and then essentially, I guess essentially 2 buttons, not even a white or green column, just an H stack with the green button on the left side, a white button on the right side. So that is what we will be creating, the second state. So let's go ahead and create a new state. We're going to call this comment pressed. And then we're going to, we keep everything here. There's nothing that needs to be changed. We're just going to add to it. So we're going to add a, whoa, why is this profile image like not a part of that? Oh, I see. Right, so we're going to add a, like I said, a H stack. And in this H stack here, this H stack is going to be 330 width by 36 height. 330 width by 36 height. And we're going to pin this down to the bottom here. And this is going to go behind the wrapper. So we're gonna give this a overlay depth of 1, a Z depth, and this one we're going to give a Z depth of 0, 0, I guess we can't do that because this is inside here still. Okay. So what we'll do is here, I see what it's saying. This is gonna be a little tricky. So the Z stack is obvious. I mean, the stack is obviously, oh my goodness. Goes right here. Can we make a -1? We can't because this is 1. But we still can't put this behind here. What if we made... what just happened? Lost myself there. Okay, so we might have to make an additional wrapper. Like this might have to be wrapped in a wrapper so that way these two elements can exist. So what we will do is I will delete this and we're just gonna create a whole new component. Go to components here, delete. I'm gonna go to pages, components. Gonna delete this. And we're gonna grab it again. Comment wrapper. I'm going to go to the component page, build this out here, and this is going to be in its own wrapper. Actually, it's going to be in a V stack. So we'll add a V stack here. Right, this is the comment press wrapper. I'm going to place this in here. And this comment wrapper is the same width, so it's going to be 346. 346 width here. 346. We'll make it actually a little bit wider for the sake of shading. Yeah, 365. And we're gonna center all these so that way there's room here for it to breathe. 8. And then we're going to add which was the H stack side of here. This is the drop down buttons wrapper, and then that is when we'll make that the width. So 330 is the width of this drop down by 36, right? And nice. And this has a margin, does it? It does, of 20. We're going to remove that. Nice, that's sitting right under it, just like we want it to. Now, this is going to be a z-index of 1. This is going to be a z-index of 0. Alright, let's do this one and make this 2, because I'm not sure how play works with this. Now let's add these buttons so we could really see just how far under this drop down it is. There we go. The button is 165 in width. So this button is the reply button. This button is the favorite button. Right, and then the reply button is 165. And the favorite button is also 165. And the reply button is going to be a green. Let's go ahead and change the background color of that. There we go. Make the opacity 100 here. It's not going to be tinted, it's going to be filled. Alright, alright, alright. And that's there. We could see it sitting under there, right? Now we're going to change the color of the white. It's going to be F3. No tinted. F3, F3. It's background color. F3, F3, F3. The text is going to be, what was the size of this? 16. So title, tint, style, field, corner radius, alignment. Can't change that, so reply. That reply icon is going to be 20. The color of the button. So let's copy that. The text is going to be that same black. Oh, I forgot to turn the opacity up there. Cool. Same with the arrow. Turn that black there. We're going to do the same with this here. Instead of title, it's going to be reply. And then for this button, it's going to be favorite. The SF symbol is going to be a heart. It's going to be a open heart. 20. I'm gonna play with this now. All of that is going to be the same black that we've been using here. Bring that opacity up. The title opacity up. The background is correct, but I need to turn the opacity up. I think we are good to go. Yes. All right. And now we are essentially just going to hide this at all times. But before we do, let's really look in and fix the corners so it looks like it's attaching. You see how we made this kind of only the corners radius is on the bottom there. So let's fix those for sure. With this corner style, custom, button corners, top left is 0, bottom right, where are they? Left, right, 3, 3, just 3 on the bottom left there, 3. Customize the corner style, bottom right is going to be 3, bottom right, 3, nice. And we're going to drop down and provide a drop shadow. This is where we get some more realism going here. Let's delete this. How do I delete that? I'll just go here, add a shadow, tweak that out. The effect is 0, 3, 10, 50%. So 0, 3, 10, 50%. Yeah, and let's see what that looks like. And we want this to look as real as possible, right? Oh, I just deleted it again. There we go. Offset by 3. We're starting to see it there. We'll blur it by 10. We start to lose it. I don't want to lose it too much. I want the shadow to appear. They create depth. Bingo. All right. So we will remove the color of this background here. It does not need any color. And we will essentially make this, let's hide this. We're going to make this height of this a little shorter here. 95. So boom, there is our component. So we'll turn this into a component now. And we'll jump back, open this up, and then we'll create that new state, which is pressed comments. And that new state is going to show this and also make this taller. Uh-oh, it's a little taller there. We'll fix it. So now that we have that, we could probably make it 130 there. There we go. And we will fix this here. Looks like 2 different sizes, these buttons. Yeah, so we'll fix that. The buttons are at what height? 36. So we'll go to the original. Go to the default state. 36 is the height. 36 is the height here. There. you'll see that it made the update because we edited the global component. So we'll jump back here, and now we have the drop down from when it's pressed. So when you do click on this wrapper, you will then get the drop down appear, which is the next state. So that is essentially, let me delete this here. We have it saved here, so there's nothing to worry about. The next state, I would say, is essentially the like buttons and all that, but we'll do that next time. And then we will also jump and create the state for this drawer motion here and this interaction, and then we'll dive into interactions and actually start getting things to work and move and interact with each other and bringing those states to life. So fun quick stream today, just bringing the components to life, getting those ready here. Just to recap, we created 2 components today. The components consist of adding a voice comment and pressing the comments to either reply or trigger a drop down for a favorite. Within this add a voice comment, we created 3 states. The default state, of course, the record voice comment state, and the submit voice comment states, and we'll be bringing those states to life next stream. And then the second component we made is the default state, of which the comment will just exist where you could see who commented, and then the next state, which is pressed comment, and we'll also be bringing those states to life. And then we'll also be bringing to life the scrolling function and the state of when you actually press these buttons here. So when you click on this toggle, what happens with this state here? We'll be deep diving with the navigation and connecting that, and just bringing to life everything that you see here to make this as realistic as possible. So look forward to it. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, go ahead and give Play Creative a download. It's, again, I think it's free. You could still create stuff without having to purchase a plan, but I do highly recommend just getting used to building things from scratch like I do. It just makes the process easier, especially when building out components and building out the interactions. So yeah, look forward to next stream for part 3, and hope y'all have a good one.